Beans, canned versus dried. Is it really worth it to cook dried beans from scratch, or should you just grab the can, cook from scratch? We're gonna break it all down. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make dried beans from scratch, explain the way to do that both with the Instant Pot as well as the slow cooker, the most efficient and hands-off way to get dried beans cooked. We're also gonna do a full price comparison and breakdown of the cost of canned beans versus the cost of making your own, including all of the ingredients. We've got that for you here in this next episode of Is It Really Worth It? A look at the ingredient and price breakdown for pinto beans. We're gonna do a homemade pinto bean with these ingredients, and here is this large can. So this large can, 28-ounce can, is $1.75, and the price breakdown for all these ingredients is 1 pound is $1.19. I'm only gonna use half of this. This is a 2-pound bag. A little cheaper to buy in bulk for sure. So $1.19. Each jalapeno is 9 cents. The onion, I'm gonna use about half of that, so that'll be about 30 to 35 cents. Garlic, 10 cents. And the spices, about 10 cents total. So total for these ingredients will be $2.13, and this can is $1.75. So these might cost more, but guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to cook dried beans in the Instant Pot. You can also do the same method in the slow cooker. I will explain both cooking directions for Instant Pot and slow cooker in case you don't have an Instant Pot when I'm doing the cooking demo. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. I'm gonna add half of this bag to my 6-quart Instant Pot insert. I'm gonna save this for another batch. I'm actually thinking about making the peaches and bacon version of the pinto beans. They're so amazing. I will share that recipe under the video as well. So the beans are going in there. I also cut the jalapeno and I removed as much of the seeds and the pithy part in the middle as possible. The seeds are where the majority of the heat comes in. So I just took out most of it. There's still a few in there, and that's fine. I also have some onions and bell peppers left over that I need to use up. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in there. Usually I would just do a white or red onion, kind of depending on what flavors I'm looking for. So that's super quick. I just chopped up what I had already kind of pre-chopped. I'm gonna add in some garlic, about 2 teaspoons. And then I need a tablespoon of cumin and a tablespoon of chili powder. There's so many different ways that you can flavor this. I'm going for a really simple setup here. And besides the peaches with the bacon, kind of sweeter touch, if you will, I also really like to add tomato paste and cilantro in this type of mix as well. It just gives it a slightly different flavor profile than the ones we're making here. Okay, because I did not soak these, you saw me pour them right out of the bag, I do need to add 8 cups of water. So I'm gonna add 8 cups here. Here's 4 more. And I'm going to add a big old pinch of salt, about a teaspoon's worth or so. And then I'm just gonna use this spoon just to kind of give this one little swirl. And then we can get it going in the pressure cooker. So from here, I'm gonna just put the insert in there. And then I'm going to set the valve. The valve is over set to sealing. It's a little right outside the camera, sorry.
And then there's 2 ways that you can cook this. If you soaked them, you can use the bean setting and cook on high pressure for 30 minutes or high pressure for 30 minutes if you don't have a bean setting. The other option is to cook them for 1 hour on high pressure if you did not soak your beans. So I'm going to go ahead and set mine and then let it pressure.
And then I recommend a natural release on the pressure on this one, which will add about 5 to 10 minutes on these beans. We will have the perfectly cooked pinto beans to enjoy. While the beans are cooking in the Instant Pot, I thought I'd quickly go over how to cook dried beans in the slow cooker. Pretty similar process, pretty easy, slightly different rules, if you will. So if you are going to slow cook dried beans, they definitely need to be soaked in advance. So you need to fill up a bowl of water, just lukewarm water, put the beans in for at least 2 hours, ideally overnight, drain off the water, and then transfer these soaked beans into your slow cooker. Add all the same ingredients that we just added in there with 7 cups of water. Add the ingredients in, stir it all together, slow cook on low for 8 hours, and then at the end of the day, your beans will be perfectly cooked and flavored by the slow cooker. So I wanted to share that with you in case you don't have an Instant Pot. You could do the same thing, the same process, the same super quick and easy way to cook dried beans in your slow cooker instead. Beans are cooked, and I'm just gonna ladle them into this bowl, mainly for comparison purposes of just how many more beans we're gonna get by cooking the pound of dried beans. Look, I'm not looking, so I'm making a mess. I'm not gonna scoop out all the juices, but enough of it. Okay, so here you have it. 27-ounce can, a lot more than 27 ounces. I wish this bowl had like lines in it, but it does not. But this is easily 6 to 8 cups of beans. This is gonna be 2.5, maybe 3. We keep all the juices in there. So I would say 2 to 3 times as many beans from the dried beans batch than is in this can here. There is a little bit more liquid than the can would have in it, but beans wise, I think that's probably a fair estimation. So for $2.13 roughly, we are getting 2 to 3 times more than the can of beans for $1.75. So ounce for ounce, penny for penny, definitely dried beans is the way to go. You saw how easy it was. We just dumped some of these ingredients in here. If you don't want to chop up a jalapeno, don't. If you don't want to chop up an onion, use minced dried onion instead. You can always add some of the other flavors that I mentioned in as well, but you can see here, it is definitely worth it to be making your own dried beans, especially if you have an Instant Pot or if you cook them in the slow cooker like I explained, cooking them on low for 8 hours with the soaking and the 7 cups of water per pound of dried beans. Don't forget, I have all of the recipes that I mentioned here. This one, the slow cooker version, as well as the peaches and bacon recipe that I mentioned. I have all of those linked underneath the video. Definitely get those saved and checked out. Really easy to cook and flavor these beans with really simple and delicious ingredients. There we have it, friend. It's definitely cheaper and definitely worth it to cook beans that are dried and add whatever flavors you wish to them. Super easy to do in the Instant Pot and the slow cooker. You're going to save a ton versus buying them in cans, especially if you eat a lot of beans and Tex-Mex type dishes like we do around here. If you learned something new and you're gonna give one of these recipes a try, go ahead and give me that thumbs up to let me know, or leave a comment to tell me what you're excited about making. And if you're excited about saving some money, every little bit counts, every penny counts, every quarter counts, every dollar counts. I have been telling myself that for years, and I want you to be thinking the same, and making your own beans from dried beans is really gonna save you money in the long run. Also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're releasing new videos all the time, and I don't want you to miss any of the budget recipes, the cooking hacks, the freezer meal prep sessions, and all of the other good things that we share here on the YouTube channel. All right, it's bye for now, and I will see you in the next video.